Ambassador Kethvar's 4 eyes blinked in rapid succession as she stared at the holographic display before her. The data couldn't be correct. It simply couldn't be. "Run the scan again," she commanded, her translator converting her chittering language into standard Galactic. The ship's AI complied without question. The results remained unchanged. Where Earth's solar system should have been a barren wasteland, a monument to the Senate's justice, there now sprawled a thriving collection of orbital platforms, mining stations, and what appeared to be defensive installations, massive ones. 3 centuries had passed since the Galactic Senate had declared humanity too dangerous to exist among civilized species. The vote had been unanimous among the 12 founding races. Humans were too aggressive, too unpredictable, too willing to solve problems with violence. The blockade had been absolute. No ships in, no ships out. Let them consume themselves on their dying world, the Senate had decided. Kethvar remembered the debates. She had been young then, an aide to the Vorthak delegation. The humans had pleaded their case with embarrassing desperation. They spoke of cooperation, of learning, of contributing to galactic peace. The Senate had laughed. These were the same creatures who couldn't go 50 years without war among themselves. Now, as her scout ship approached the edge of what had once been the quarantine zone, Kethvar felt the first stirrings of unease. "Incoming transmission," announced the AI. The view screen flickered to life, revealing a human face. The creature looked older than the archived images in the Senate database, with silver threading through dark hair and lines etched around pale eyes. But there was something else, a confidence that hadn't existed in those desperate final transmissions 3 centuries ago. "This is Admiral Chen of the Terran Stellar Confederacy," the human said, her voice carrying across space with crystal clarity. "You are entering sovereign human space. State your business." Kethvar's throat sac inflated with shock. "Terran Stellar Confederacy? Impossible. Earth was quarantined. Your species was contained to a single dying world." A smile played at the corners of the human's mouth. "Earth? Oh, you mean our capital world? Yes, she's doing quite well, thank you. Population just hit 20 billion. But I think you're operating under some outdated assumptions." Ambassador Kethvar of the Vorthak hegemony. The use of her name sent ice through Kethvar's veins. "How do you know who you are?" "We've been watching the Senate for quite some time. Your scout missions, your trade routes, your military deployments. It's remarkable what you can learn when people assume you don't exist." Admiral Chen gestured off-screen, and the view screen split to show a tactical display. Kethvar's ship appeared as a red dot surrounded by dozens of blue markers she hadn't detected. Human ships closing from all directions. "The Senate made a mistake," Chen continued conversationally. "They assumed that isolation would kill us. Instead, it freed us. Do you know what humans do when faced with impossible odds, Ambassador?" Kethvar remained silent, her mind racing through first contact protocols that seemed woefully inadequate. "We adapt. We innovate. We survive. Your blockade cut us off from alien technology, yes, but it also cut us off from alien limitations. While the Senate grew comfortable with their standardized tech, their regulated innovations, their committee-approved solutions, we were rebuilding our civilization from scratch." The tactical display zoomed out, revealing the true scope of human expansion. The solar system was thick with infrastructure, orbital habitats surrounding every planet, asteroid mining operations stretching to the heliopause, and massive construction yards building ships of unfamiliar design. "Earth was never our weakness," Chen said. "It was our strength. 9 billion humans with nowhere to run and everything to prove. We turned our homeworld into the greatest forge in the galaxy. Every scrap of metal, every drop of water, every breath of air became precious. We learned to waste nothing and value everything." Kethvar found her voice. "The Senate will not tolerate this expansion. The moment we report, what? That humanity survived?" Chen's laugh was sharp as a blade. "That we've colonized 47 star systems in the past century? That our population now exceeds that of the entire Senate combined? Ambassador, the question isn't what the Senate will tolerate. The question is what we will tolerate." The view screen shifted again, showing massive ships unlike anything in the galactic database. They were built for war, but not in the elegant ceremonial style of Senate fleets. These were brutal, efficient engines of destruction born from centuries of scarcity and struggle. "We sent envoys to 6 Senate worlds last month," Chen continued. "Not to surrender or beg for readmission, to deliver an ultimatum. The quarantine is over. Humanity is expanding. The Senate can either recognize our sovereignty and establish diplomatic relations, or they can try to stop us. And if they choose the latter, Chen's smile disappeared entirely. Then they'll discover what 3 centuries of isolation and desperation can create. The Senate banned Earth to eliminate a threat. Instead, they forged us into something far more dangerous than we ever were before. The transmission ended, leaving Kethvar staring at her own reflection in the dark screen. Around her ship, the human vessels maintained their positions, not threatening but making their capabilities perfectly clear. As her ship was escorted to the edge of the system with stern instructions never to return without an official Senate delegation, Kethvar realized the magnitude of what had occurred. The Senate hadn't eliminated humanity. They had given them the greatest gift possible: time to grow without interference, motivation born of abandonment, and the absolute certainty that they could trust no one but themselves. The Galactic Senate had tried to bury humanity. Instead, they had planted seeds that had grown into an empire forged from rubble, tempered by isolation, and hungry for the recognition they had been denied. The question now was whether the galaxy was ready for what humanity had become.